Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have something special to show you guys. I've recently been watching a series playthrough of Jak and Daxter. Shout out to Cataclysm. She played through the first Jak and Daxter and was playing through the sequel, and despite its flaws, she seemed to enjoy her experience. But there was a comment that she made that was similar to others who played through the franchise, the dramatic tonal shift from the first game to the second. In the first game, you play as Jak, a silent protagonist who starts on a quest to save his friend that later becomes a quest to save the world. It's a pretty standard platformer. It's bright and colorful, it has a cast of animated characters, and rather simple gameplay. Jak 2, on the other hand, leaves behind a lot of this stuff. It thrusts the character into a world that is dark. The distant future, a dystopian, post-apocalyptic world that is dark, dirty, and dangerous. The shift in the story had a huge effect on the characters and the gameplay alike. This tonal shift was kind of polarizing for fans of the first game, to say the least. I actually got Jak 2 first, then went back and played the first game, and then got Jak 3. I enjoyed them all, and I still think they're some of the best games of that era. But when I hear some people's reactions to the sudden change in the overall vibe and atmosphere of the game, I get it. It is a radical shift in tone. Even the developers were shocked, as the target demographic shifted their attention to games like Grand Theft Auto 3. But something in me still wants to know what Jak and Daxter would look like if Naughty Dog hadn't made the shift for Jak 2. What would be the story? Well, a picture's worth 1,000 words, so let's see. So in this video, I'm going to create a concept, a story, and some visuals that take what I think are the strongest parts of the series, connect and combine them to build upon that foundation that they started with. One of the strongest parts of the series is the lore, the atmosphere, the mystery that surrounds the world. Jak and Daxter is a story about adventure with elements of fantasy and sci-fi. It's the story of a village boy collecting artifacts that ends up in a bad situation where he has to save the world. When I think about it, exploration and the idea of ancient civilizations combined with a young male protagonist led me to think of ancient Greek heroes
Odysseus, Perseus, Theseus, a lot of yesses,
who go on adventures across distant lands and face trials and encounter strange creatures. The physicality of the character reminded me of Aladdin or the Prince of Persia. One of the special things about Jak is his innate ability to channel various forms of Eco, the power source of the world, created by an ancient race known as the Precursors, each with their own purpose and properties. By using Eco, Jak can perform different feats and interact with the world around him. By combining these elements together, I came up with this concept for a story. After the events of the first game, Jak is left conflicted. He saved the world, but he can't undo Daxter's transformation. This is where Samos the Sage, Jak's mentor, suggests that Jak train to become a sage himself. Jak agrees, and with Daxter by his side, embarks on a journey across the world to master the ancient powers of Eco and find a way to restore Daxter. But along the way, Jak and Daxter uncover an ancient prophecy and a war that threatens to destroy the world. Now, Jak must learn to master these newfound powers and confront this looming danger to save the world once more. If you've enjoyed the story so far, please leave a like and comment down below. Now we're going to get into design theory, kind of give you guys a background look on how I came to this end result for the character. So Jak's eco powers kind of remind me of a wizard casting different kinds of spells, or like the drive forms in Kingdom Hearts 2. And combined with the wandering adventurer sage storyline, this kind of informed my design choices. I like the idea of precursor armor from Jak 3, so I decided to keep that and add a little bit more. So I designed new goggles based on the precursor's eye shape. I also gave him some new shoes and some tattoos that fit the precursor aesthetic. The most important part of this design, however, is the precursor armor that's wrapped around his waist. It's like a precursor waistband or belt that holds different eco crystals in it. Think of it like the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos has on his hand, except around the waist. This armor would allow for quick switching of eco powers, expanding the combat, platforming, and traversal, while remaining in line with the lore and the aesthetic. I also gave Jak some new shoes that have blue eco in them. This would add a wall running component to Jak and Daxter's platforming. Now in my story, Jak would have to travel to each precursor temple and meet the sages or monks or acolytes and learn about their respective forms of eco and how to use them, and then undergo trials and tests to show his mastery of the element. As far as enemies are concerned, I think I would keep the natural enemies that were found in Jak and Daxter. You know, the snakes and all that kind of stuff. And then I think the main enemies would be the Dark Makers from Jak 3. Since the Dark Makers are precursors that have been twisted by Dark Eco, I think this would fit thematically with the overall idea of controlling and channeling Eco correctly. I would also keep the element of Jak's destiny and birthright. You could add to Jak's mythology by making him like this chosen one figure that could be explained through an ancient precursor prophecy. Like, with the aid of the precursors, a champion would rise and save and reshape the world. Or, a hero would rise and fight alongside the precursors to save the world from destruction. This would add to the mystery and lore, but not destroy the established revelations in the overall story, basically removing the whole time travel plotline. All in all, my concept is simple. Use the elements that were already given in the trilogy to make slight adjustments to make a fresh but familiar story and tone in the series. The title would be Jak and Daxter, The Precursor Prophecy. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.